Move, Cripple! The words sliced through the autumn air like broken glass. Sarah's knees hit the pavement before her mind could process what happened. The deliberate foot thrust out, the violent shove, the cruel laughter echoing off the brick walls of the downtown bus terminal. Not again, please, not again. Her crutches clattered across the sidewalk, metal scraping concrete in a sound that made her stomach twist. She was 12 years old, and the ground was cold against her palm. Above her, 3 teenagers, 2 boys and a girl, maybe 16 or 17, circled like wolves who'd found something wounded. What's wrong? Can't get up? The taller boy wearing a Letterman jacket kicked one of her crutches further away. Maybe you should just crawl. Sarah's eyes burned, but she wouldn't cry. Not here, not in front of them. Her cerebral palsy made her legs weak, unsteady. But it hadn't touched her spirit, not until moments like these threatened to break it entirely. She reached for her crutch, fingertips barely grazing the rubber grip. The girl with the nose ring stomped her boot down inches from Sarah's hand. I don't think so, freak. That's when Sarah heard it. A sound that started as distant thunder and grew into something primal, something that made the air itself vibrate. The rumble of engines. Many engines. The bullies heard it too. Their laughter faltered as they turned toward the street. Around the corner they came, a river of chrome and leather and defiance. Motorcycles, Harleys, Indians, choppers with extended forks, rolled into the bus terminal parking lot in a formation that seemed almost military. 20, 40, 60, more kept coming, their engines a symphony of controlled power that drowned out every other sound in the city. What's happened? Sarah's heart hammered as the lead bike, a massive black and orange Road King, pulled up 15 feet away and the engine cut. The rider dismounted with the fluid grace of someone who'd been born on 2 wheels. He was enormous, 6'4" at least, with a salt and pepper beard that reached mid-chest and arms covered in tattoos that told stories Sarah couldn't read from where she lay. His leather vest bore patches, a military insignia, an American flag, and words she could barely make out. Guardians MC. Behind him, 98 more engines fell silent in a cascade of quiet that felt louder than their roar. The bearded man walked toward them, his boots deliberate against the pavement. The bullies shifted nervously. The tall boy puffed his chest, trying to maintain the illusion of dominance, but Sarah saw his hands tremble. Fellas, the biker said, his voice gravelly but measured. He nodded to the girl. Mind telling me what's going on here? Nothing, man. Just messing around with our friend. The lie came too quickly. The biker's eyes, steel gray and impossibly calm, moved to Sarah on the ground, then to her crutches scattered like abandoned hope. Something shifted in his expression, a tightening around his mouth that made the tattoo of an eagle on his neck seem to spread its wings. Your friend, he repeated it like he was tasting the words and finding them rotten. That's interesting, because from where I was riding, it looked like 3 cowards were attacking a child. More bikers dismounted now, forming a semicircle. Sarah saw women among them, faces weathered and fierce. She saw gray-haired men who might have been grandfathers. She saw younger riders with fresh faces and old eyes. They didn't speak, didn't threaten, didn't move aggressively, but their presence was a wall, immovable and absolute. Look, we don't want any trouble, the tall boy started. Neither did she. Another biker stepped forward, a woman with silver hair braided down her back and a scar running through her left eyebrow. But you gave it to her anyway, didn't you? The nose ring girl's bravado cracked. We were just joking around. Funny joke, said a third biker, African-American with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses, making a disabled child eat pavement. Hilarious. The lead biker crouched down, making himself smaller as he approached Sarah. Sweetheart, are you hurt? Can you tell me your name? Sarah. Her voice came out smaller than she wanted. Sarah, that's a good name. I'm Marcus. He retrieved her crutches with surprising gentleness, inspecting them for damage. I was in Kandahar with a guy who used crutches after an IED took his leg. Bravest man I ever knew. These bullies bothering you at this bus stop before? Sarah nodded, tears finally breaking free. Every Tuesday and Thursday, after my physical therapy appointments. Don't tell him that. Don't be. But Marcus's expression didn't show pity. It showed rage, cold and controlled, directed entirely away from her. He stood, turning to the teenagers who now looked very much like the children they actually were. Here's what's going to happen. You 3 are going to apologize. A real apology, not some mumbled garbage. Then you're going to wait with Sarah until her bus comes, and you're going to make sure she gets on safely. After that, you're never going to be within 50 feet of her again. And if I hear, Shira, if any of my brothers and sisters hear that you've bothered this girl or anyone like her, we'll find you. We know your faces now. We have your pictures." He held up a phone. "We have brothers and sisters in every city in this state. You understand me?" The tall boy nodded. His cockiness dissolved into genuine fear. "I can't hear you." "Yes, sir. Now apologize." They did, stumbling, ashamed, sincere only because terror had stripped away their cruelty. Sarah accepted because Marcus's hand on her shoulder told her it was okay to show mercy. That being strong didn't mean being hard. When the bus came, 99 bikers waited in formation. They waited as Sarah boarded. As she turned in the doorway to wait, Marcus raised one massive hand, and somehow it felt like benediction and promise combined. The bus pulled away, and through the rear window, Sarah watched them mount their bikes, engines roaring back to life. The Guardian's MC rolled out in the same perfect formation they'd arrived in, thunder fading into the distance. Sarah pressed her palm against the cool glass, tears streaming freely now, but not from pain. There are still heroes, they wear leather and ride thunder, and they don't care if you're broken, they care if you're hurting. For the first time in months, Sarah smiled, and it reached all the way to her heart.